Are you struggling to lose that stubborn body fat? Well, don't worry. We've got you today. In today's episode, we're going to show you 3 easy and science-backed ways to melt the fat fast and without starving yourself or spending hours in the gym. So stick around for the last one because it's going to probably surprise you. So let's get started. Let me get the team in here. Justin, Gab, thanks for joining us again.
Oh, yeah.
Always good to have you guys here. And as always, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and make sure you give it a like because if not, Gab is kind of mean to me. So if you don't want to be mean to me, hit the like button. Okay. She's thirsty for the likes. Please help me out. So all right. So we've got, lots of people, right? I'm 41. Gab, you've told me before that the process in losing body fat is the same, but sometimes our age, hormone, there are things that make the mechanism speed up or slow down a little bit, right?
Sure.
So it can feel like it's stubborn, like it won't go away, right? So how then can people that feel like they're struggling with this, what is like that? Why is what's the first thing then? What's the first hack that they can help them get through this?
Yeah. So the first hack I would say is eating more protein. Like most of us are not getting enough protein. We don't know where the protein is coming from. We don't understand how important it is to build new muscle mass and preserve the muscle mass that we already have. And often, what gets overlooked, I think, is the thermic effect of food. And so the calories that you're consuming from protein, 20 to 30% of those calories are being burned just in the digestion process alone. So it's extraordinarily valuable. It's a really good way to make sure that you're reducing your body fat. And it's fun and easy, right? Who doesn't want to eat protein? It's the best.
All right. So what we all know, like the common protein sources. So Justin, but what are maybe some different ways that people can find that protein if they're trying to get more protein in their diet?
Yeah. I mean, protein you can get from anywhere. I mean, it's super important to make sure that you're incorporating enough animal protein. For most people, that's going to be the absolute best way to get the amino acid profile that you need. And then obviously be able to eat consistently and enough throughout the day, right? I usually recommend upward of 1 gram per pound of body weight. And so that's going to be super important, right? For me, I'm a big egg guy. Of course, we have this bird flu thing going on right now.
Eggs are hard to find.
And then I'm a big red meat guy, usually at night because red meat digests a little bit slower. And so incorporating at nighttime, super easy. And yeah, I mean, those are some of my most of it. And then things that are unprepped, right? That, maybe you were alluding to, Joel, is like yogurt, edamame, beef jerky, protein powder. Like there's so many readily available protein sources that don't need to be prepped where you're like slugging around in the kitchen all the time. Right. And so, yeah, that's definitely going to be something that, is going to be a great way to hit some of those protein targets in a given day. And don't intermittent fast, please.
Yeah.
I will say that I've discovered fat-free cottage cheese, and it can be literally added to everything to add protein to. So we add it to our eggs. We figured out how to do like pancakes with it. Dude, it's awesome. It's like changed our breakfast life, especially with the lack of eggs. Like if you need a boost in the protein in the morning and you don't have your eggs, fat-free cottage cheese. I promise you, I will not let you down with this, people. Check it out. All right. The next thing. Now, this is weird because I've been hearing, I never had heard of this before until very recently. And then Gab, in our meeting, you brought it up. NEAT.
Yep.
Tell the people about NEAT.
Yeah. So NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is the calories that you burn from moving around, from doing your day-to-day life. Everything from walking your dog to brushing your teeth to, tapping your feet at your desk while you're working. These are the things that are accounting for the majority of your movement throughout the day. We think about going to the gym, we think about exercise, but that can be about an hour of your day. It's not accounting for the majority of your caloric burn. The majority of your burn is coming from activity outside of exercise. So really just focusing on getting more movement in throughout the day, whether it's getting a walking pad for under your desk so that you can get some extra steps in, or just taking your dog for a longer walk, even so much as just moving around in your chair. Science, has supported this idea that those of us who are a little bit more fidgety tend to have less body fat than those of us who are not, because those calories add up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you a fidgeter, Justin? Do you like bounce the knee?
I do like this. I like dance a little bit, like when I get bored.
Are you at like the dinner table and you're like bouncing your knee and your wife like reach over like, Justin?
Yeah,
stop.
that happens a lot. I like tap on the steering wheel. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I'm always, every time we record this podcast, my legs are like bouncing around underneath me. I just feel like I have a lot of pent up energy, but
I
that's
don't wanna
good,
sit in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the important thing then about NEAT, though, it sounds like, so if you're increasing your overall activity, right, then it's what people probably need to understand, though, is that you're increasing your overall activity, but if you're looking to burn body fat, it's not an excuse to like have more calories, right? I think sometimes, like from my experience, I get in this mindset where I'm like, oh, I had a really hard workout today. Like, oh yeah, I can eat that whole pizza now. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like if I'm increasing, like, oh, I took a long walk today, I can have. So, kind of explain maybe, Justin, of why, like how to navigate that mindset of I'm increasing my activity, but that doesn't mean that I'm increasing my calories.
Yeah. So there's a equation for this of how we burn all the calories, like how our body typically in a given day burns calories. One is definitely through exercise, right? We all know we burn calories through exercise. Another one we went over was that thermic effect of food that Gab mentioned. The other one is NEAT, which is the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, like walking up the steps. You're not exercising, but you're doing your day-to-day, right? And the last is your basal metabolic rate, right? Your basal metabolic rate is literally just chilling. You're like, Justin, what the heck are you talking about? You're just chilling, burning calories? Yeah. If your body is alive and your organs are functioning, you're burning calories just sitting here. And the most important thing that you can do to improve your basal metabolic rate, which is how many calories that you burn at rest, is building more muscle. So this is why people with more muscle lose fat more easily, because they're burning more calories at rest more easily. Muscle is a very expensive metabolic tissue. And that what you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast of what might surprise people, we burn more calories doing nothing in a day than anything else.
Yep.
Right. So this is how it's very easy for you to leverage sitting down and doing nothing all day, or just kind of sitting, relaxing, and burn way more calories than everybody else if you have more muscle than everybody else, right? Exercise itself takes up less than 5% of the calories we burn in a given day, right? Thermic effect of food, a little bit more, 10 to 15%. Well, we have our TDEE, which makes up a pretty large portion, I think 20 to 30. Everything else comes from our basal metabolic rate. It's like 60 to 70% of calories burned come from me just sitting here, just kind of like sitting down, talking to you guys, right? Doing nothing, laying on the couch, watching a movie. And that's because I have a certain amount of muscle and my body needs to keep up with all life's functions.
All right. Interesting stuff there. You burn more calories doing nothing. There you go. Said by Justin. So,
Yep.
All right. All right. The last one. So you kind of, you both have kind of touched on this a little bit already, but kind of to get more specific then about, let me clear this stuff out, is apparently there is a thermic effect of food. What in the world does that even mean? How is there a thermic effect from food?
Yeah. So the process of digestion requires energy, right? And we as human beings get our energy from calories, to put it very simply. So the digestion process is going to require a certain amount of calories, and the majority of those calories are going to come from protein. So, in other words, like I said earlier, 20 to 30% of the calories you ingest from protein are burned in the digestion process, which means that inherently you have fewer calories left over when you eat protein. Sometimes I think this gets a little bit lost when people kind of start talking about like negative calorie foods, like, oh, celery is negative That's not necessarily how it works. That would
I
be
was gonna
cool if it
actually bring
was.
up celery. I was wondering about.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, that's just not how it works. Fiber doesn't work that way. But in any case, we do know that it does require more calories to burn protein than it does to burn carbohydrates or fat. So simply by eating foods with a higher thermic effect, you're going to burn more. It's a very hard to measure metric, but it is true. So it's just good to know.
Yeah. So, all right. So then that's a little disappointing about the celery because it was
I
kind of
know, I'm
like
sorry.
it was the excuse to, slap a bunch of peanut butter in it because you're like, celery's negative calories. Like I can put some peanut butter in here and I'm all good.
Yeah.
So apparently, people, that's not true. I'm sorry. We broke some bad news for you today. All right. Well, there you have it. There's your 3 easy ways. So you eat more protein, which help you build more muscle. And the more muscle you have, then that more of that very sciencey words that they used, the thermogenic effect and all that stuff. It's going to help you burn more calories. Then you've got your NEAT, which I forgot what it stands for already because it was a bunch of
Non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
There you go. All right. So thank you for bringing that in, Cab. So increase your NEAT, walk more, move around more, stand up at your desk, do some air squats in between some stuff you got going on. And then the last one is that food that you eat is going to be more require more energy to digest. So there's your 3 hacks that we have for you today. And here's the thing about CBG though, is we gave you some ideas about, the different protein sources and stuff. So one thing that CBG can do if you get a coach is they're going to help you figure out what protein sources are good for you. What maybe like based off of what you like to eat and stuff like that. They're going to help work you through the variety of those foods. And then all of this sciencey stuff, like you don't really have to worry about it. Okay. I get confused by it. Gab kind of, pats me on the head. It'll be okay, Joel. I'll explain it to you. So if you need kind of like, to someone to pull you kind of through that, they will help you incorporate all of this stuff into your life, into a plan for you that'll be easy for you to follow every day. So there you go. There you have it, guys. For Justin, for Gab, that's all that we have for you today. So we're going to tell you to click the link down there if you want more help with this. And I'm telling you, CBG can help you reach your goals and crush all your workouts. So we will catch you next time. Peace out.
Bye.
Do you track macros?
No.
Neither of us track macros. It's working out pretty well.
Say so. Especially for you.
Sure.